Your car is hiding features that dealers never mention, salespeople never explain, and most drivers never discover. Some of them are pure convenience. Some of them could save you thousands, and at least one of them could save your life. Here are 15 of the best ones. Number 15. The mechanical key hiding inside your fob. Every modern key fob contains a physical mechanical key that almost nobody knows about. There is a small release latch on the side or back of the fob. Slide it, and a full metal key slides out. The car door handle typically has a hidden keyhole behind a small removable plastic cover that lines up perfectly with this key. When your fob battery dies at midnight in an empty car park, this is the difference between calling a $200 locksmith and simply opening your door. The feature has been standard for decades. Most drivers discover it by accident, if they discover it at all.
Hey everyone, Jeff here. Have you ever wondered what the traction control off button does? You know, this button right here. You'll find traction control on just about every car, truck, and SUV.
Number 14. Traction control AND, when to switch it off. That button with the car and squiggly lines is your traction control system, and most drivers either ignore it completely or have no idea it can be turned off deliberately. Traction control prevents wheel spin on slippery surfaces by reducing engine power and applying targeted braking. On ice or wet roads, it keeps you stable. But in deep snow or mud, it works against you, cutting power precisely when you need wheel spin to push through. One press disables it temporarily so you can get unstuck. Turn it back on once you are moving. Most drivers never touch this button and end up stranded in situations where 10 seconds of wheel spin would have freed them completely. Number 13. Silencing the lane departure warning permanently. Lane departure warning was designed for motorway driving. Many systems apply the same sensitivity to every road, including neighborhood streets, where normal lane movement constantly triggers the alert. The result is a car that beeps at perfectly safe driving maneuver, including pothole avoidance and gradual lane changes. The fix is a button on the steering wheel that looks like a car between two dotted lines. Press and hold it to adjust or disable the system entirely. Some vehicles require digging into the infotainment settings menu instead, but it is worth finding. You can customize exactly how aggressive the system is, rather than accepting factory settings that were calibrated for motorway use only. Number 12. The recirculation button is AN Air Quality Shield. The button with the car and a circular arrow inside it stops your ventilation system from pulling air from outside and switches to recirculating the air already inside the cabin. Most drivers think this is purely about comfort. It is actually a filtration shield. When you are stuck behind a diesel vehicle driving through an area with heavy pollution or passing farmland with strong odors, one press blocks all of that from entering the cabin. Beyond air quality, it also boosts air conditioning performance by up to 20% in extreme heat. The system works more efficiently when it is not constantly conditioning fresh, hot outside air. It also extends the life of your cabin air filter by reducing the volume of contaminated air it has to process. Number 11. The steering wheel adjusts in two directions. Directly beneath the steering column there is a lever or handle that almost 40% of drivers have never touched. Pull it, and the steering wheel becomes adjustable up, down, closer, further away, depending on what your vehicle supports. Some models offer tilt adjustment only. Others offer full telescopic movement, bringing the wheel toward or away from the driver's body. This is not just comfort. When the wheel is correctly positioned, your arms maintain a slight bend at the elbows. Your airbag deploys toward your chest rather than your face, and your dashboard instruments are fully visible without leaning forward. Driving with the wheel in the position the previous owner preferred is a safety compromise most people accept without realizing it is avoidable. Number 10. The sun visor has AN extension panel. When driving into direct sunrise or sunset, The visor blocks the central glare, but light still enters from the side at the edge of the visor. Most drivers accept this as unavoidable. It is not. Check the bottom or side edge of your sun visor. Many vehicles have a sliding panel tucked inside the visor body that pulls outward to extend coverage across the gap at the side. Car designers knew standard visor dimensions could not address every angle of sun penetration, and built this extension into the visor. It never made it into most owner manuals, and most drivers never discover it, despite it being present on their vehicle the entire time they have owned it. Number 9. The hazard button does more than one thing. The standard use of the hazard button press, once lights flash press again to cancel, is only part of what many modern vehicles have programmed into it. On many current models, pressing and holding the hazard button for several seconds activates an emergency flash pattern designed to signal serious distress rather than a routine roadside stop. Some vehicles have a double-tap function that switches to a slower, more visible flash pattern optimized for fog or dark motorway shoulders. Luxury brands including BMW, Mercedes and Audi have programmed long press functions that activate all exterior lights at maximum brightness, simultaneously creating visibility from nearly a mile away in genuine emergency situations. Most drivers press the button once across the entire life of car ownership and walk away without knowing any of this exists. Number 8. The arrow next to the fuel gauge. On the dashboard next to the fuel pump icon there is a small arrow pointing either left or right. That arrow indicates which side of the vehicle the fuel cap is on. This has been standard across virtually all manufacturers since the 1990s. Despite being present on essentially every car built in the past 30 years, approximately half of all drivers still pull up to the wrong side of the pump in unfamiliar vehicles. Rental cars, borrowed cars, company vehicles, the arrow eliminates any need to guess, lean out a window, or get out and check. It is the most consistently overlooked feature on the dashboard. Number 7. The hook inside the fuel door. When you open the fuel door to fill up, look at the inside surface. Almost every vehicle has a small hook or notch built into the fuel door specifically designed to hold the fuel cap while you pump. Setting the cap on the roof, placing it on a dirty surface, or letting it dangle against the car's paintwork introduces grime into the fuel cap seal and scratches the paint around the filler neck. When contamination reaches the fuel system, the consequences range from clogged injectors to fuel pump failure, a repair that can reach $3,000. The hook takes 2 seconds to use. Approximately 95% of drivers do not use it despite it being present on essentially every vehicle they have ever owned. Number 6. Roll all windows down from the key fob. On a hot day, a car parked in direct sunlight can reach interior temperatures between 55 and 75 degrees Celsius. Getting inside immediately is genuinely harmful, and waiting for the air conditioning to work while sitting in that heat is deeply unpleasant. Many vehicles allow all windows to roll down simultaneously by holding the unlock button on the key fob for several seconds without approaching the car. Some require 2 presses followed by a hold. The sequence varies by manufacturer, but the principle is consistent. Hot air exits through the open windows before you reach the car, and the interior is already approaching ambient temperature by the time you sit down. This feature was originally developed for European markets, where vehicles regularly park in direct sun for extended periods. American manufacturers included it quietly without advertising it. Number 5. The emergency gear shift override. When a vehicle with an automatic transmission loses battery power, the gear selector locks in park. You cannot shift into neutral. You cannot roll the vehicle to safety. You cannot clear the lane. Next to the gear shifter, sometimes beneath a small plastic cover, sometimes under the shift boot, sometimes accessible through a small hole there, is a purely mechanical override called the shift lock release. A car key or small flathead screwdriver is sufficient to access it. Pressing the mechanism releases the transmission lock without requiring any electrical power. The feature became mandatory after multiple incidents where dead vehicles could not be moved from traffic lanes and remained blocking roads for hours. The drivers involved did not know this existed. Now you do. Number 4. The tab at the bottom of your rear view mirror. At the bottom of most traditional rear view mirrors there is a small tab or lever. Flicking it shifts the mirror into its night position, a second reflecting surface set at a slightly different angle that scatters incoming headlight glare rather than reflecting it directly into your eyes. The day position uses the primary bright reflecting surface for maximum clarity. The night position uses the secondary dimmer surface, so the view behind remains usable, but harsh headlights no longer create the blinding glare that makes night driving genuinely difficult for many drivers. Approximately 14% of drivers over 65 avoid driving at night specifically because of headlight glare. Most of them have the solution attached to their mirror and have never noticed it. Number 3. The snowflake on your dashboard is a warning system. The snowflake symbol that appears on your dashboard when temperatures drop is not a decorative notification. It is a temperature and humidity monitoring system that calculates when road conditions are approaching the threshold for ice formation, particularly black ice, which is invisible to drivers and responsible for tens of thousands of crashes annually. More advanced systems change from yellow to red as temperatures drop further, and some current vehicles share road condition data with other vehicles nearby through connected systems, effectively creating a network of mobile road condition monitors that feed information to following traffic. Most drivers glance at the snowflake and treat it as a temperature indicator. It is actually an early warning system. Number 2. The glow-in-the-dark trunk escape handle. Since 2002, United States law has required all passenger vehicles to include an internal trunk release handle. The handle is typically brightly colored and made from material that absorbs light and remains luminous for up to 8 hours, so it is visible in complete darkness when a person may be disoriented or panicking. One pull releases the trunk latch from inside without requiring any tools or external assistance. Before this became mandatory, deaths from trunk entrapment occurred multiple times each year, from heat stroke and suffocation. Most owners have never located this handle on their own vehicle. If you have children or drive passengers with mobility limitations, knowing exactly where this handle is could matter more than any other feature on this list. Number 1. Auto lock. When you walk away. Many modern vehicles have a proximity-based automatic locking system. When the key fob moves beyond the vehicle's sensor range, typically around 2 to 5 meters, all doors lock automatically without any input from the driver. Some vehicles add an audible confirmation beep or a light flash. Some allow a delay to be configured, giving enough time to retrieve forgotten items before the lock engages. The system eliminates the doubt that makes most drivers stop mid-walk and return to confirm the doors are locked. It removes a common cause of vehicle theft from distracted or rushed owners, and it operates entirely passively. Once configured through the settings menu, it requires no further thought. Many owners have this capability already built into their vehicle and have never activated it because they have never explored the settings menu deeply enough to find it. 15 features, all of them present on millions of vehicles right now. Most of them never shown by dealers, never mentioned in advertising, and never discovered unless the driver opens the manual or watches something like this. Check your manual this week. At least one of these features is sitting unused in your car, waiting to save you money, save you time, or depending on the situation, save something more important than either. Drop a comment telling us which one you had no idea existed. Check the end screen for more car knowledge sitting there right now.